Okay, we're coming across the top end of the one I just showed you where I got the samples from. Look at this. This is all sandstone. Right underneath all this stuff. And it's like glued to it, stuck to it. All right, see this? Sandstone. 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 And that's a type of really coarse sandstone is what the best I can describe it. But you can see the seam, and it's right on top of this. We can step right over here and look at this stuff. It's got some kind of a membrane surrounding it. All right, let's get down off of here. And some little kid over there with his mom probably gonna end up drowning in the ocean. Parents aren't very wise down here with riptides and stuff, I'll tell you what. That is biology. That is biology. Look, there's that membrane there too. See that? And there's another cave up in there. Now we're backtracking towards that, what is, you know, I keep saying cervix, it's not, but that's the only way I have for a reference point right now. Okay, we're to the left of it. It's right over there. Now I believe this is some kind of vascular network. You know, this, you know, if you were just to look at this, you'd think, oh, that's a sedimentary deposit because of all the rocks and stuff in it, but it's not. It's actually biology, and it's actually stuck to this stuff, which is sandstone. And it just peels off, and that's what you see all this laying here. You understand? Underneath this is sandstone. If this was a sedimentary deposit, you'd see a big old pile of it, and it'd have an edge and a line of it separating the sandstone from whatever this is, but you don't find that. I'm sorry for doing some critical thinking, Mr. Geologist. Excuse me. I just don't regurgitate everything I'm told to regurgitate. And that's all they do. You know, all they do is regurgitate what they've been taught. That's it. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Look at this. This is some kind of biology. I don't know if it's blood, coagulation, I just don't know. But there, look at this seam going up through it. See that seam? Just like the seam I'm going to show you on a bunch of this stuff. Now, this has all been eroded away over time and time and time, but this at one time was probably another cave. I could be wrong, but it kind of looks like it, but it also could just be a carve out from the ocean. Okay, so we're not going to call that a cave, because I don't believe it was. I've been doing this a long time, man. I've studied this place. It's not that far from my house. Like I told you, 17 miles as the bird flies. I live here. And if you don't watch all the videos, you start having these ideas. If you just pick pieces out and only watch from it, you'll think, oh, that's that or that's that. No, you got to watch all my video, all of it. So you'll start to understand and get a bigger picture, understand what's going on. Now the rocks in the aggregate, like you see right here, notice how it ends. See that? Comes here and it stops. See the seam? They peel off right here, and it doesn't go very deep. I showed you that one right after I showed you this one, so we don't need to do that one again. Remember that? And I'm not sure what oh, this is just part of it, because you can see the seam kind of through here, so that's just part of that layering. All right, we're backtracking now. Now, I'll probably put a pause in here right here before we go that way and do that video one. Here's what's being called the, you know what, not being called, but suggesting it might be that cervix. And there's that seam. Just like that great big one when I first started over there has a seam, but you could put, man, you could put 20 or 30 of them in the size of that one where I first started the video over there. You could put 20 or 30 of these in it, the size of them. There's the slit. Let me turn on the little light here so we get a good view. There's some light. Okay. And there's what's being called a slit of a cervix, and it's not. A cervix, for one thing, is bulbous. It comes out bulbous. It doesn't go indentation like that. You understand what I'm saying? It's not inset like that. Pull up a cervix. Google cervix, and then you'll see a cervix is actually bulbous with the slit in it, opening, going into the uterus. And that is not what is going on here. Okay? For one thing, it's sandstone, and for another thing, it's not human. So now I have no idea what's under the sand. And then you got this one here with no seam. And I imagine it went down in like that, but I have no way of knowing now. Okay? And then you run into that smooth stuff. See how smooth that is? Look underneath it. See this? And it's, you know, all eroding off or falling off. All right. Let's step over here and look at, you got this one here. I don't know how deep it went. It goes back into it, probably angles in. Okay. And you know, it's got a seam at the top. Like the other one had a seam at the top. I got the light on here. No, yet I don't. Now I do. Sorry. I had it on all that time. Look at all them critters crawling. This is what I don't like, these critters in here crawling. So here's what we got going on with the seam right there. And it goes back in there. And I'm not going to crawl back in there because I don't know who's living in there. But it's all filled in with sand, but there's that seam. Okay? You wouldn't have two cervixes basically side by side either. So anyway, or 3, 4, 5, because a lot of them have that seam, only they're bigger. Okay, so we got that one there, and you see you still got the sandstone underneath it all. Like right up in there. See, it's all worn off, and look what's underneath it. It's not volcanic. This is not volcanic. Nobody's paying attention. Hello? Hello? Anybody home there? Okay. Now, dig this. Look at this flow. It's obvious. It's an absolute no-brainer. A 2-year-old could figure this out. Well, probably a 3-year-old. This goes in and turns. Okay? This goes in here and turns. It flowed out of there. Now, I believe this is, I don't know if this could be, I believe this is vein too, because we're back into that hard stuff again. Oh no, this is softer. This is not, oh, poor Mr. Crab. This is softer material than that stuff I showed you and took. Well, no, it's just hard. So it's the same material as I just showed you over there. Now here's one right here. See this one here? Now, you know, you look at this and you think, well, it's got a slit too. Look, that could be a vagina or a cervix. No. I believe they're just collapsed closed. Okay? Got a lot of water here. I gotta wipe off the camera. I think I got water on the lens. But that's what that is. And then you got this one right here I was just on. Oh yeah! Let me wipe off the camera. Alright, so we got that one. I was just around the corner. And then I've done a lot of videos on these because of what's in them. It's really cool. And you can see right here, It goes in and turns, and you can see it float out of there. And that's why they would think, well, that was a lava tube. No, it's not. It's the wrong material for a lava tube. There's no caking, no layering on the sides. And see the seam? And you get up in here. Better not leave out there. I've lost so many tools, laying them down, forget about them. And let's turn some light on. Okay. And we got this here. This big old plug with a round circle in the center. I've showed this before. This whole thing is just one, it's about 10 feet across and 7 feet tall. That's how big this circle is right here. Okay? Trying to shine the light in there so you can see, but it's hard to do. It's really early in the morning. But there's the edges of it there. See it? With a big old, with a round circle right in the center. That hole right there, I drilled that 5 years ago with a drill and took a sample out. Roger was having me collect samples to do DNA. Yeah. I think he's forgotten about that. This is when he had me and my wife down here with ultraviolet lights looking for little Uper lights or Uper rocks or whatever they're called that glow like they find in Lake Michigan. He had me and my wife down here looking for them. We didn't find any. Okay, so you can see the material flowing out. It goes out and turns, okay? Now pick up my hammer. Pick up your hammer, Tyrone. Do not forget your hammer. Okie dokie. Whoa, this is slick stuff. So, you see this material flowing out, and it's not lava. Absolutely not lava. I have lava at home. I've brought lava home from the lava fields over Belknap Springs in Oregon. Brought, you know, I got pieces at the house. I've done videos to show the difference, but nobody's paying attention, and that's all right. I'm okay with that anymore. So, this flowed out of here. Blood. I believe it's vein blood. Now, we're going to step next door, right from that one, and the one around the corner, right to this one. Now see that seam? This is what's being mistaken for a lot of things. Find them a lot. This one here is huge. Look how big, but look what flowed out of it. See the flow? Yeah. Same thing. A lot of it's gone. But what I wanted to show you about this one is that massive seam right there. Okay? I mean, this one's big. Really big. And you could fit 20 of the ones that are being called the cervix right next door into it, the opening. That's how big it is. But look at that up there. See that seam? Two of them side by side, basically. That's the roof. This is right overhead, over my head. And you go up in here. Oh, look, another vagina. No, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding you. I'm just funning. Just funning. Just funning. Too many things being called vaginas that aren't, but hey, whatever, man. It's all cool, man. You see those holes? I have no idea what those holes are. But they've got these holes. Well, that one's not one, but and look at this up in here. Okay, we're right up in her. I believe it just collapsed off. Okay. All right.